All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and whatever else might be lurking out there in the darkness. We are the Pink Buzz. We are back. And Joey, what are we doing this week?
This week we're going to be talking about a bunch of crowdfunded comics or graphic novels that we've backed and that we've really enjoyed. So we're going to go down a list of a bunch of stuff that we've gotten to from Kickstarter, maybe Zoop, Crowdfunder. I don't know, all the different crowdfunding sources and sites. We'll cover some of our favorites. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. So it's going to be a crowdfunded themed episode.
And Thili is saying that he is a Patreon supporter of Sepen Sayek, who, of course, we have honored many of his wonderful books on the show. We talked in length about Sunstone,
Sunstone.
and I am a
Mhm.
huge Death Vigil fan, so that's awesome, Thili.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, before we get into all our love for Kickstarters and other crowdfunding stuff, you got a check in, Joe?
Yeah, I've got a few things I can talk about for the check-in. I read the second issue of the Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead from DC's horror line. That's written by Bruce Campbell with art by Rizzo. It's I enjoyed it, man. It's pretty good. Definitely hits all the beats. It's got a little bit of humor. It's got a little bit of campiness. What would you expect from Bruce Campbell? I mean, so
Right.
that's definitely fun to check out. Um, I'll finish with a. I'll talk about a show I've been watching. I'll finish with another comic because it's going to lead into probably your check-in as well. I started watching The Boys season 3 this week. We're about halfway, a little more than halfway through, and we've both been enjoying it quite a bit. Pat's been loving it, and I mean, I like it too. I think I just love the casting. The performances are so good. Like the guy who
Not
plays
the guy that plays
Homelander,
Huey.
the guy who plays Homelander does a fantastic job. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's good.
Carl Urban does a great job as Butcher. I mean, there's just so many great performances in it. Like people can criticize it for many things, but you can't really criticize the actors for their performances because they do a bang up job. Yeah, and we've really been enjoying it. We'll probably finish it up at some point this weekend. We'll probably finish that series up. And another comic I read recently, and we were talking about it before coming on live, is Lovesick. And I know you said you just picked that up this weekend at the comic shop. So I'll lead that. That'll lead into your check-in because that's pretty much it for me for my check-in. So I know you picked up Lovesick as well. So I'll let
Yeah.
you touch on that, man. What'd you think about it?
Oh, like I was telling you off air, man. Like I was a little rope doped by it. I did not expect it to be as graphic as it was. I thought with the title like Lovesick and kind of the over the top cover that um I really didn't expect it to be as hard hitting as it was. I mean, I should have known because L recommended it to me, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I thought it was going to be like on the same level as like the Maria Lovett stuff, like like art house style, like sexual horror. Whereas this is straight up like disturbing film style. I mean, you put on some Rammstein and just cringe looking at some of this stuff. It's like I was telling you, Joey. It's like Miss Vecchio was looking at Red Room and she was just kind of like, "Here, hold my beer. I'm gonna outdo this guy really fast."
Yeah.
And it really hits on like all the dark web legends type storylines very well and very cringe and like cringe in like a good way, like because it's
Mhm.
supposed to be. It's a very I don't know unless you're into that personal kink, which I'm not really, but
Yeah.
like
Like
it's very Clive Barker.
yeah,
Like
as opposed to Red Room, this one definitely leans a little more heavy into the kink side of things, like the dark web and like snuff films and the more kink side of it. Whereas Red Room, I don't think it doesn't really tackle the kink side of it as much as this one
they
does.
do, but it's
So
mostly kink shaming it, whereas this one
yeah,
tries to like make you understand it or something.
yeah, they
Or
definitely get into details for what you call uh, the submissive, the person who wants to get killed. They have and they go into the terms. It's really well done. It's like, I mean, if you like Red Room, you'll definitely love this one, right? I mean, there's a lot of parallels between the two, obviously, because I mean, if you do your research, you're probably going to come up with a lot of the same facts. So it's for sure there's a lot of similarities between the two books, and there are quite a few differences too. Visually, it's a lot different. Uh, the angle they go by in this one's a lot different, like more focused on one character, whereas Red Room is kind of anthology, a little bit more anthology style, where
Yeah, and there's all these
each
different
book,
factions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So this one's going to be a little more singular story driven so far from what I get. Like you have the main character and it's going to probably focus mainly on her.
On
So it'll
Domino.
be, yeah, it'll be interesting. An interesting read. Great first issue. Great first issue.
Yeah, I was gobsmacked. I remember back when Howard Chaykian's Black Kiss came out, and that was blacklisted. Like it was put in bags, and you weren't allowed to buy it. And like I think about just how light that book is compared to Lovesick issue 1. I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember when Black Kiss came out and like all the big controversy at the comic shops about
No,
that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, but
What else you have for your check-in, man? I know you said you bought a few different things. No.
I got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was actually got to go to the comic book store for the first time since like I got sick, and really diversified. Well, I mean, most of the stuff I got was Image because the shops around here, like that's about the only indie I could find. But I snagged the first 3 issues of that new Donny Cates book, Vanish.
hmm
I
hmm
haven't read it yet, but it looks rad. Like I
I,
was saying,
I
it
know
look
Dean's a big fan of it, so I don't know
Yeah,
if that
that's pretty
means
much why I
anything, but
got it because Dean and Adam were talking about it, and I was just like,
mm,
okay, I'll snag that if I see it. And plus, like I was cracking up because, like I was saying, like dude looks like a Witchblade meets the Darkness type character. Looks like a book we could have talked
offspring,
about last
yeah,
week. Yeah,
the offspring from the Witchblade and the Darkness dude. They
yeah, he's like
they
he's like
got
top.
down and dirty, and
He's the
they
top cow baby man.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, the hero that Top Cow spawned.
Speaking of Top Cow, I also got the first 2 issues for Revolvers, which is
hmm
another one that Elle told me to check out. That looks pretty cool. Looks a lot of fun. I haven't looked into that yet, but I got a hold of Zoe Thurgood's graphic novel. It's Lonely at the Center of the World, and
hmm
damn, dude, is that a powerful, wonderful, just great book, dude. I think that she is a little hard on herself. I don't think that she is anywhere near as selfish as she portrays herself to be. At least if you read the book and the way she portrays herself, it's almost tragic how this girl sees herself. But the best thing about it is it's not depressing. It is actually a very uplifting and very funny book. It reminded me of a book I used to read back in when I first was really getting into Image called Little Depressed Boy, which was
Okay.
also really funny and very but I liked all the different little versions of herself that she drew that would argue with each other. I thought it was
Okay.
just a masterful, wonderful graphic novel. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be too. It's
Yeah.
it's like 200 pages. I thought it was going to be
Is
a little guy, but I thought it was going to be a novella. But this thing's like good 5 6 issue graphic novel size, man.
was that put out by Image?
Yeah,
Mhm. Is that
I
a
got a
hardcover or a soft cover?
I got the soft cover.
Okay.
I don't think they did a hardcover for it
Okay.
yet.
What
Um,
was her first book called?
the
Billy.
the something about Billy. I really want
Yeah.
to get that now after
Yeah.
reading this book because it references it a lot.
Yes,
Uh,
that's what her first. That she got a lot of good reviews. Critically, it was a hit. That her first book as well. So
Yeah. Is that available widely? Do you
mm,
know? I'll have to look that up because I
I think
haven't
you
got to
can.
check that out yet.
I think you can order it off Amazon. Like that was released through I think a just a like a publishing house like for books. So I think you could go to pretty much any bookstore and order it. Really.
But I think she's a really good, really solid new voice. I think she's got a lot of character, a lot of charisma.
And she
Um,
worked on Rain with the dudes from the CVR. Is that the imprint off Image? She did the artwork in it. The book that was adapted
yeah, it
to the
was
Joe Hill short story.
Joe
Yeah,
Hill and Booer, right? The guy that does Kanto. also wrote it. Yeah,
Kanto, possibly. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
co-wrote it. Yeah,
she just finished that up. What that finished up just before
she
at the
references
end of
that a
the
lot in
summer.
this book too. It's
Yeah.
really cool. It's autobiographical about her basically finishing her first graphic novel, her working on Rain, and how she was supposed to come to America. Then COVID happened, and then how
Mm.
that kind of broke her, and then she ended up like going to Thought Bubble and coming to America, meeting this dude, and the weird stuff that happened there. It's great. It kind of reminded me of an A24 film, kind of a maybe like a mature version of that Pixar movie Inside Out when her different segments in her head would argue with each other. Kind of reminded me of that movie a
Mm.
little bit, but a lot more um, relatable. If you read the book, you'll get that
Mhm.
joke. Relatable. She
Yeah.
hates when people call her
I,
that,
I
which
dig.
I
I
think
dig.
is great.
I dig her style too. She can channel that Junji Ito style a little bit too. I find.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
creepy monster that follows her around in
Yeah.
this book when she starts feeling sad.
Mm.
It's nightmare fuel, man. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's talented. She's cool, crazy little creator, man. I
Mm.
like Zoe Thurgood a lot. I also got the first two issue for a book called Three Keys, which,
Yep.
man, that's a total blast too. Really quick read, but I'm enjoying it. It's about this chick Noah and her tiger buddy Theon. They bust up some elder H.P. Lovecraft elder god stuff. It's mad fun. I love art, dude. David Messina's art in this is gorgeous. It looks like Jason Sean Alexander meets Mike Allred is kind of how
Yeah.
I'd put place his
Yeah.
art.
I was gonna pass on it. Then I saw some preview pages and I was like, ah. So I put it on my poll. I haven't read any yet, but I have it on my poll. Just a quick shout out to Fred. Fred's in the chats and
Oh hell yeah!
Thierry's there too. So hey, how's it going, guys? Uh, yeah, that I put on my poll just based off the art. I still haven't read it though, so yeah.
I saw issue the cover for issue two at the store. Her jumping with the sword into like the monsters, and I was just like, I'm getting that. That looks like
Yeah,
my jam. So I got
yeah,
that. I picked up the first two issues for one called Hitami, which is written by a dude called or a person named H.S. Tak, and
yeah.
it's drawn by Isabella Mazzetti, and it's pretty fun. I like it a lot. It really reminds me of Blade of the Immortal, but kind of a Western take on it because there is a African American samurai, or I guess African Japanese samurai, that's teaching the young girl how to be badass in it, and it's pretty groovy so far. I mean, the first two issues only really get you the setup of like them, connecting and working together, but it looks like it's got potential, or you know what I mean. I really like the
Mhm.
art. The art is gorgeous in it.
Cool.
And I got some trades. I got the book two for Righteous Thirst of Vengeance. Really
Okay.
can't wait to read that, finish that up because I love that first arc. I got Jeff Lemire's the first arc for his vampire book, Little Monsters, that
Oh
he's doing
yeah,
with Dustin
yep,
Nguyen.
yep.
I
It's
love
fun.
that
It's a
creative
fun
team.
book.
Was it good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's up to issue 7 or 8 now. I think. I read the first what would be the first trade, and it was good. Yeah, it's
And
pretty cool.
then and last I got a Cy Spurrier wordless graphic novel called Step by Bloody Step. It's like
Yeah.
this kind of cool fantasy thing. Little girl
Mhm.
with a rock monster. I haven't read it yet,
Mhm.
but it looks badass. Plus,
Yeah,
me and Cy Spurrier, and
yeah.
I also like Mateus Baraga's art. It's very clean, always very classy looking.
There, it was good. I've read. I visually consumed that one.
Oh, you have it too? Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
have it. I had it in the floppies. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's really well done. Like visually, the way they a fantastic job visually telling a story. Yeah, there's a little bit of made up dialogue in it. I think in some parts, kind of like we'll probably touch on that later. Like EPHK's books, there like they made up a language. Well, there are little parts in it where, but
Yeah.
you don't really need to understand the story. Is visually it explains itself. Like you can from the facial expressions and everything, you definitely catch what's going on. It's really well done. Fantastic book.
Okay, and let's see what Thiele is saying here. A little off topic. Being a '90s kid with a huge crush on Wednesday Addams and the Addams Family Values, I had to watch the new Wednesday Netflix show. Gotta say, Jenna Ortega is doing an amazing job. That's good to hear because I thought that show looked really cute. It looked really fun. So
See,
I'm glad
that's
to hear she's nailing it because I didn't grow up with the old show, so yeah, Christina Ricci's my Wednesday Addams
mhm.
as well. So that's cool that she's at least kind of living up to that.
Yeah, that's Pat really wants to watch that, but I was like, no, we got to finish The Boys. We got to finish what we started before we jump on to something
We gotta
else. So
watch the boys before we watch the girls, man.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
So that's our next. That's on our list after our to watch shows. Is that one's queued up, ready to go? Yeah.
awesome. Hell yeah.
Did you watch anything, movies, shows, or anything this week? No.
Pretty much all I've been really watching is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on
Okay.
Hulu. I gotten caught up with that finally, or not caught all the way up as far as Hulu goes. So I just finished watching The Gold Wind, which is really weird. It's basically like if Zoolander was mixed with Goodfellas. Like there's just like
Okay.
these really kind of androgynous, beautiful men in like these really kind of kitschy outfits that are like these mafia guys, but they also have these secret superpowers, and they got to get this mafioso's daughter to this place. Oh, dude, it's so extra. I don't know if you ever read any JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or watched any of the
No.
anime, but the show always has been very self-aware. It's always played up to the homoerotic tones of anime. It's always kind of played with that. So like, and this season just goes so extra with it. It was pretty fun, but I got to switch over to it on Netflix now because that's where like they're doing the newest episodes
Mm,
or the newest seasons, at
yeah.
least in the dub.
Yeah. See, it's weird because see, we have to switch. I think for uh, what we do in the shadows, the vampire show by uh,
Yeah,
what what? How many seasons are out of that? There's only three on
yeah, I
because
think there's three.
okay. Okay, I thought there's. I wasn't sure. I thought there was 4 or 5 that was already out, and I was like, because on Disney Plus Canada is where we go to watch it. Uh, there's only 3 seasons. I can only watch 3 seasons of it.
That's all that's
So
out. I think I think that it got slowed down because of COVID. Because I think
okay, so I
that
got
came out.
renewed for
Yeah,
okay because it's slated for 6. When I went on IMDb, it says there's supposed to be 6 episodes. Not 6 seasons, but so far there's only 3 out. So I was wondering if
that's
just for
probably
it
the
to be.
projected runtime. That's probably what
Mhm.
the showrunners have mapped out. So like,
Mm.
they're probably halfway through with what their
All
grand
right,
master
cool.
plan is.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Travis is in the chats. How's it going?
Oh, what is
Orange,
up,
orange
man? Thank you
cone.
very much.
Yeah,
I hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving too, brother. Like I had a pretty groovy one.
that's true. Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving to
It's
all the
it's the
American
only
listeners out there.
Thanksgiving. It's the only
Fuck off,
Thanksgiving,
man.
Joe.
You're so fucking USA, USA, USA. Fuck off with that shit. Fucking
How am I that way, man?
saying that fucking American Thanksgiving is the only fucking Thanksgiving. Get out of here with that bullshit, man.
I like my hero too, Thiele. As for Attack on Titan, I liked the first 2 seasons, but man, does that show jump the shark so hard after season 3. Like, and where it is now, like, I can't even believe it's the same show. Like, and I'm not digging it. Like, I just wish, yeah, I wish Attack on Titan would have just stayed about kids fighting monsters and getting eaten and stuff. Yeah, they have Boxing Day. It's after Christmas, right?
Yeah, but it's Black Friday is a thing now here too, so it's pretty much Black Friday. Boxing Day is probably nothing anymore. It's You get better deals on the Black Friday. We've adapted the Black Friday just
Hey,
like you guys. So
when do you guys celebrate Canadian New Year?
yeah, I don't
Sorry.
know, man. I'll have to I'll have to send you a calendar. Yeah,
Canadian calendar. It's
yeah.
awesome.
It's not the same as yours.
Uh, all right, man.
Yeah.
You want to get into this?
Yeah, man. Let's start. I'll let you start off because you have more stuff, more books you're going to be talking about than me. So we'll
I mean,
probably we'll be discussing some common, like a lot of books we have in common. But yeah, because you went on a tear there a while back and just went nuts on the Kickstarters. So I'll let you I'll let you kick it off.
hockey season opening day has to be Canadian New Year. I agree. I agree, Fred. I think I'm gonna go with like the first one that really, really just kicked my ass, and I just utterly loved with all of my heart when I got it. And I think it was probably the second campaign that actually got fulfilled for me, and that would have to be Schlepzig's Red.
Yeah.
I first backed it because I thought it looked amazing, and he had an 8-page little preview for it, and I was just blown away just at the thought that it was a 24-hour comic. Sam's very modest. He'll argue with me and tell me it took 30, Johnny, but like that is still impressive as hell, and just how good this book is. Like honestly, like you could put it out with all the image stuff that I just got done talking about, and it's just as good, just
Mhm.
maybe a little rougher. And Sam's art style is just glorious. That
Yeah.
was kind of one of the first ones. Another one like this one, I know it's got to have a special spot in your heart too, Joey. It's kind of the one that got us all, me and you both, kind of really into it.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
from Comics Tribe, Ryan K. Lindsay's wonderful little novella, just really kind of neat book about independence.
Mm. Yeah.
And then
With a nice
these are,
die cut, the cool die cut
oh
cover
yeah, the
with
cover is
the
just with
yeah,
the three different sections where you pull back the cover, and then there's the film, and then like her
then
face.
her
Yeah,
face. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
and these are just quick ones I'm getting out of the way because we've talked to these people before, but they are some of my favorites. We got
Snow folks.
Steve
Yeah.
Slowpokes, which issue 2 should be coming out pretty soon now, I would think.
He got them. I think he's starting to ship them out. But he already sent out the
Yeah,
digital tiers. So if you back the digital tier, check your inboxes because they should be there. Yeah. Yeah, that's Jerome. Jerome Gagnon is his letterer. He letters like pretty much 90% of the Kickstarters.
okay. So
Mhm.
he's like the Clem Robbins of, or
Yeah.
was it
He's from
Bidikar?
he's from
DJ
around
Bidikar
Montreal. Yeah. I'm
of
sure he doesn't
Kickstarter.
live too far from me. Yeah. Yeah. Jerome.
Here's another one, and Fred could back me up on this. Dogjaw by Graham Putnick. This one really hit home hard with me because I'm a really big Twin Peaks fan. This one, I wouldn't say it's too Twin Peaksy, besides just how quirky the characters are. But it's a survival horror about kind
Hmm.
of this crooked sheriff and how he has to do this certain favor for this crooked person. And while he's doing this, all hell breaks loose in his town, and there's just this outbreak. And just really good visceral gore, really funny. Topical jokes to it. It's really fun. Nice 5 shot. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Just really good, hard hitting little horror piece.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore it.
Hmm.
And then yeah,
I haven't read that one. The dog jaw. I'll have to,
Dogjaw.
yeah. Hmm.
I'll send you the PDFs if you want, or I shouldn't say that on
Yeah.
air.
Hey, it's
But
for the show, so we're
yeah,
allowed.
yeah. I want to have Graham on. I've read a bunch of his stuff. He also does Long Pig, and then he did a really funny one called Carry On Cthulhu, which was a spin-off of the old Carry On films, which are like this um, old classic British comedy series where they would have this. It's basically a comedy troupe, and he did this version of it where like it's basically no, it's not Shadow over Innsmouth Mouth. I think it's Call of Cthulhu, but adapted as one of these comedy troupe guys'
Hmm.
movies
Yeah.
from the 1960s. And man, he nailed it. The humor is just spot on, and he drew the actors perfectly. It's just a gorgeous book. His
Cool.
art style is really good. I can't recommend Graham enough.
Cool. Hey Mel, how's it going? Mel's in the house. Mm.
Birch, man, Birch is awesome. He's always supportive, so that's cool. And what's up, Mel?
Yeah.
Melly Mel.
I don't have my sick voice anymore, so
Yeah, you
although
don't sound like
as we go, it might start kicking in, but we'll see. We'll see how it how I tough it out tonight.
you don't sound like you smoked a full carton.
No. Mm.
And then
Yeah.
I can't not shout out the magnificent Crescent City Monsters by Newton Littleovos and Giancarlo Bernal. This
Hmm.
book is so much fun. A really cool magic in the Bayou voodoo story about like this bluesman who has like these really cool voodoo powers, but he gets killed in the 60s and later gets reincarnated into this dead rapper's body to have his vengeance. So it's kind of like The Crow, but like in a body swapping way. It's really rad. I love Giancarlo Bernal's art. It's very detailed, and I love his work on the grayscale. Man, like the dude just really knows his shading perfectly. Like any artist
Mm.
looks at his shading, and I'm so jelly. Like he
Mm.
has to cheat. There's no way a person is that magically talented in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Hey,
And they
a
all
good looking book. I appreciate a good looking book, man.
and they also just put out a spinoff for that I really enjoyed, Kesha Demon Eater, which is really cool. Also takes place in old school Louisiana. This one's about a girl who's possessed with a by a demon who is the one of the daughters of the kings of hell who had all these sons, but she's the only daughter and she likes eating other demons, so she's not really liked. And that's basically all kind of what we get along with her the human person that she's basically possessed is a demon fighter. So it's going to be a neat symbiotic relationship between them forming in the next couple graphic novels, I think. But I'm really digging this little universe that they're setting up. Really cool.
Is that one all black and white with just like red?
This one has all different kinds of colors. Like at
Okay.
one point, she's wearing like the yellow Kill Bill outfit, and like but it's all black and white. But like certain things will be
With
colored
just
in, which
touches. Okay. Yeah, I saw that Kickstarter. I can't.
but really bright, loud
Yeah.
touches, which is
Yeah.
cool. It's a nice
Yeah, it looked
juxtaposition.
cool. It looked cool. Mm.
Yep. Mel's leaving. You don't got the sick voice, man.
Yeah.
She likes sexy Joe.
Yeah, I'll dig into the garbage can and see if I can find some Kleenex and
See if you get yourself sick again.
yeah.
This one, I really love. This is called Slightly Exaggerated. It is by Curtis Clow and drawn by a guy called Pius Bach. And I also am waiting for issues 3 and 4 of this, but I backed issues 1 and 2, and it is a glorious little sci-fi adventure. I'd say fantasy as well. It's about like this female not bounty hunter. She's a archaeologist and she's kind of a Tomb Raider type character, but she's also terminally ill. So she's trying to do all this stuff everybody always said you can't do while she's got a little time left. She got this little character called Winston that hangs out with her, little talking creature. He's pretty cute, and but basically she gets caught up by like the police people and they're gonna lock her up, but then they get raided by these kind of crazy sky pirates, and her and like the one cop chick named Cindy, yeah, I think Cindy, they have to kind of team up and realize that we're not so different after all, but in a really cute, really kind of fun, adventurous way, and I'm really digging it in the art style. Pius Bach is chef kisses, man. Very saga-esque art. Like I love that look. Not quite on Fiona Staples level, but not far from it either. Really, really pretty book.
Cool.
you only backed one Kickstarter all year, and you're sad about that. Well, was it a good one, Mel? What did you back? Oh, wait to hear back from you. Let's see. Um, of course, yeah, we got Project Starless Daydream from our buddy Frankie White. This is a really fun mecha adventure. It's all about this renegade female mech pilot and kind of her standoffishness, and it's kind of a Scott Pilgrim-ish thing, but it features a bunch of different artists, and I think they all kind of nail it. I think it's a really fun, really cool book, reminiscent of maybe something Jim Rugg would do, kind
Okay.
of
Okay.
a little cuter, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. Kolchak. I never even heard of that. How old? That was just
He
from this past year.
like Kolchak the Night Stalker. Like Rodney Barnes did a Kolchak the Night Stalker Kickstarter, and I didn't know about it.
Yeah, Johnny likes a lot of the. He likes a lot of more obscure stuff for sure.
Yeah, I love scraping the bottom. Like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like the stuff that kind of seems overlooked or would be like that is what draws my eye usually.
Yeah, we both definitely have a style of comic we like. Like not unlike Travis's book, Granite State Punk. Like those are the type of books that I love. I love that style, the story. You know, it has it stands out visually from everything else. Uh, a lot of the Kickstarters, they like we were talking about that like off air often, how there there seems to be a trend visually with a lot of these Kickstarters, so it's hard to try to pick one out from the bunch visually sometimes. So that's often a selling point for me is visually. If you can stand out, make it look a lot different than something else, something original, like that doesn't look like run of the mill kind of like every other book that's coming out, then it'll definitely get my attention in that way.
But that's awesome, Mel. I did not know Rodney Barnes did a Kolchak the Night Stalker book. Like, I'm gonna have to definitely look into that.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
and also, Travis, these aren't all from this year. These are from probably the past 3 or 4 years since me and Joe kind of really got into kickstarting. Before I let you start, I'm gonna give one more quick one. Of course, Wolven Daughter by
Yes, that was
Ver
good.
from the Quandary Press 2021 release. Oh my God, is that book
That
just
was really good.
magnificent?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Like, I don't know why. I'm surprised that hasn't gotten picked up by a publisher yet. Like,
Right? I mean,
yeah,
like
it is. Wow, that book is outstanding. Like visually, the story is fantastic. The art is even better. I'm really surprised that that hasn't been picked up by some publisher in Europe.
it's
It's
probably got one of
really
the
good.
best messages I've ever read in a comic about like how we should talk to each other. How like so much things would be better if we actually did try to hatch things out. Like it's such a and the way it's told in the story, it's really powerful.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. People, we covered it on one of our earlier episodes. We touched on that one. Yeah, I don't remember which episode it was exactly, but earlier on we touched on that book. All right, so does that your quick shots? That's those are all your quick mentions.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm. Well, I'll reiterate some quick ones too that we've talked about in the past and stuff like Trakovi. Love that one. That got picked up by Scout.
Scout.
What else? Yeah, Scout picked that up. We have buddy friend of mine, Manuel Filto. He's got his Tales from the Interface. That's a pretty fun kind of anthology, not anthology style. The way there's different stories because you live in a virtual world where you can plug in and just become whatever you want. So that one's pretty cool. Um, I picked up a book with a catch-up tier of Standstill, which is kind of like a post-apocalyptic survival thriller horror book, which is pretty cool. That one just completed too. I think all 12 issues are done. And I'm not sure if the last Kickstarter just finished, but I'm pretty sure if you go onto the site, you can pick all those up digitally or order them. That was a fun, really good book. What else recently? Just quick stuff that we've gone over. Blam and Glam. I know that's one of your favorites
From Richard
from
Morgan.
Richard. From Richard, yeah, yeah. He just finished up his for issue
Issue
5 or
5.
6. Issue
Yeah.
5 just finished up, so he should be finishing that up within a month, I guess. He's usually pretty good. Within a couple months, he usually has the book finished, printed, and starts shipping them out after a couple months after his Kickstarter. And that just finished up, what, a little less than a month ago, or just about a month ago?
I got my survey for my so my rewards will get sent to me just a day or two ago. So yeah, they'll probably be getting sent out soonish, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of books on Kickstarter, more and more, and I could see how being a creator on there, it's becoming more challenging to stand out from the rest. So I don't know, man.
I know what you could back, Mel.
It's a
It's
tough
running right
game.
now. You can back book 5 of Tiltopia, which has got 9 days left. Our good buddy Dave Cook. It's going to be the last book of this really wonderful, really gory sci-fi, excellent cyberpunk beatdown comic, just about just oh, dude, like it's all kinds of goodness, all kinds of cool genres mixed together.
And if people aren't familiar with crowdfunding, don't be intimidated by, like, let's say if you see it's issue 5, because if you go in to back this project, almost all the creators now have catch-up tiers where you can get all the previous issues and back the current issue that's being made right now. So if you see something that looks cool and it's on issue 6, I wouldn't worry about it. 9 out of 10 times, if you go in and to back it, you'll see one of the tiers. You can get all the previous ones, and most creators will give you even heavily discounted the previous ones. Like, you'll get issue 1 to 6 for maybe half the price to 25% less than what it cost when it initially kickstarted. So it's a, if you're on a budget, that's a good way to kickstart some books too. You can get in late and save a little bit of money. I mean, I don't want to tell people to do that all the time, because the creators need people to fund them initially. But if you see something you really like, don't like go in and check it out, because I'm almost sure that all these creators will have backup tiers. So
That's how
yeah,
it worked out for me. And one of my favorites, I got Tart. I went
yeah.
in. They had the digital. Because I didn't want, I wanted to know if I liked it before I backed like physical.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I saw, I think it was 1 through 10. I got
Mm-hmm.
for I think $7, and
Yeah, it's crazy.
because I talked to Kevin Joseph on Twitter, he actually emailed me some of the other tart stuff like the Hell Lemon or Hell Mango, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
graphic novel, the spinoff for it, and dude, that comic is just so awesome. It's another one that I think Scout also puts out now, and dude, it's like Hellboy meets Quantum Leap. It's basically like this character. Her name is Tart Acid, and she basically gets sent to these certain points in history and has to make sure a certain thing happens so the world can continue on as it's supposed to be. And sometimes it's a mythological thing, sometimes it's a like a religious thing. It kind of switches up all the different. Sometimes it's really fantastic. There's like one that's like all underwater. Really, really cool, really beautiful book. I love the art by Ludwig Sale or Sale. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but so beautiful, so one of a kind. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like an old 1920s magazine art style. If you've ever seen like the old Coronet magazines or Bugler or something like that, like they all kind of like had that type of art that he has.
Hey Aaron, how's it going? Aaron's in the house. One of your favorite books on Kickstarter, the Blizzard, Black Blizzard.
Oh, you know it, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna Gonna go ahead and
Mhm.
shout that out now.
Yeah.
Black Blizzard, uh, issues 1 through 3, so good. Like one of my favorite team books. Uh, it's basically this group of all different kinds of people. There's like basically two magicians, or magic users. Like one, my favorite, Daedra, who's basically like a John Constantine type character, and then there's another one who you end up finding out is another type of mythological being as well, called Furia. She's pretty badass, and then you got El Boehm, and who is the big guy with the machine gun. Really cool, really funny character. You got King, who is my second favorite character. He's like the king of gangsters, basically, and he just he don't put up with nothing. He kind of walks up and tells people how it is. And then you got this kind of like underling of the mob boss. I think his name's Angelo, who's a really cool character. And man, I forget the cop's name too. But yeah, you basically got that kind of this magical suicide squad going in during this blizzard to kind of solve these occult murders that are happening. And you end up finding out there's a lot of other things at play going on. And man, I cannot wait for issue four's campaign to drop. Aaron, who is I'm hoping is feeling a lot better. I got really sad when I heard you got sick again, buddy. So like I love your work so much, and I'm really happy to have you here with us and still. And like I can't wait to read what you do next with your wonderful book, because like Joey, you got any nice things to say about Black Blizzard, brah?
Yeah, man. It was it was great to see his progression from issue to issue. Like you see the confidence in his artwork from issue to issue just gets stronger, more confident. The evolution of his work too. You like it's a fun book. I think it's Aaron's first comic. He's doing it all himself, and like you said, what is it? He does this Kickstarter and has it out within the next month. It's
Well,
crazy to think.
he has his book done by the time he
Done.
does his campaign, and then by the time, basically by the time it he sends out the PDFs, I have my physical copy like 2 or 3 days later.
Later,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I
and,
think
and it's like a turnaround of
emails
two
from there.
weeks after
Yeah,
it's over, after the
exactly.
campaign's over, you start
That's what
getting
I
your
mean.
stuff.
Physical copies like are out within a month. So that's a great turnaround. Definitely well organized. His campaigns are really well organized. You don't have to wait long for them. You get your books quick. Uh, Man, it's a fun book with a bunch of great characters, like you said. So there's definitely something in there for like a character that anyone can relate to and like latch on to and love. Uh, it's fun, and the back matter too is pretty cool. Like with all the
Yeah, comic strips and the news
newspapers,
reports.
comic
Yeah,
strips. Yeah, that's it. So there's that probably takes him a shit ton of time to do that too. So I
yeah.
mean, he puts a lot of love and effort into his book, and it shows. Yeah.
To make the city like a living thing,
Mhm.
like an actual
Yeah.
character of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. I really appreciate that stuff. So don't think it's not appreciated. Like the back matter stuff is sometimes some of the highlights. Like some of the stuff in there is great. I love it.
Plus, he's like one of the first Kickstarter creators that I knew that really went over an extra, because I got my PDF and like for issue one, and I really liked it, and I did a tweet about how cool I thought the character Deidre was,
Hmm.
and when I got my physical copy, he actually drew Deidre on the envelope in paint pen, which was really gorgeous, really awesome of him to do. So like I love when people do that. Like Richard does stuff like that too for me too. Draws Bam Argalam on cardboard and stuff when I get my
Yeah.
packages. I love that.
Mm. Yeah. I know Goose backed one of the
Yeah, he actually got a portrait of
commission.
Bowie,
Yeah.
man. Damn, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous too.
Yeah. Goose is a pretty big fan too. Yeah. He's got a nice commission. He backed
Yeah,
one of the commissions. Yeah.
he wanted to be here tonight. I asked him if he could make it. He said he couldn't.
Mm.
Yeah, he be making plastic bags. He's holding it down.
Yeah, he's got a new kid coming. He's got another kid coming,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna
he's
be the Goose family groweth. So
oh yeah,
yeah.
he's battening down the hatches, man. He's putting the time in, getting ready. Mm. Yeah, like I mentioned before, Granite State Punk was another cool Kickstarter I enjoyed. What else have we talked about on the show that I mean, we already talked about Schleppzig. You brought that up for Red. Um, yeah, that's pretty
Well,
much it. Then we could get into the more in-depth stuff that we're going to talk
well,
about. Oh,
there's
Dig.
that,
Yeah, that's true. There's Dig. Yeah, yeah. Dig was
and
that
then
was awesome. El
shout
Crudo.
I could shout out my buddy Manny, who
Hmm.
like really always has been really cool. Like he sent me the first three issues of his book for free to read, just because he thought like, he likes my reviews and like my YouTube channel, which I'll always appreciate when creators go out of their way to do stuff like that for me. And yeah, he's done Kickstarters for 4 and 5, and I think he's about to put 6 out. And hopefully, we'll have him on the show really soon. And it's a really fun book. It's basically about this smart orangutan that gets sent into Vietnam and mess up the VC. It's I can see it making a really cool grindhouse film. Like Robert Rodriguez could have a lot of fun with doing El Crudo, man. Like I'd love to see that.
There's Happy Hill, but I didn't back those because those get released. I get them through the comic shop, but I know you back them.
Yeah, and you get my PDFs
Happy
from him,
Hill.
so
Yeah, yeah. There's those. That's from Comics Tribe as well. Uh, the
good
Mats.
stuff.
We covered Nightmare Man. We covered Matt Rowe also did Dieback. He did that one, and they did the pirate one. The first. Oh shit, I can't remember the name. They did a Zoop one on Zoop. The two of them together. It's an anthology horror. First
Yeah,
sight. Was that
what
it?
was the? Yeah, I think that was what it
On
was
Zoop,
called.
yeah, on
Yeah.
Zoop, and then they did the pirate one on Kickstarter together. So they've done a few books together. The Mats, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I got to
those.
catch up and read those because I'm so behind on a lot of stuff because I got sick for so long, man. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh fuck, I got so many PDFs I haven't gotten to, like Jeff Schiller's Magic Black. Is it Black Magic? I think it's called. I haven't gotten to that yet. I have the 3 issues of that. I haven't read that yet. Uh, I have the Switchblade one that I've only read the
oh, this
first
Switchblade
two.
Romance. Yeah, that
Yeah, I've read the first
I
two.
love that art, man.
Yeah,
So cool.
that's cool. Yeah, it's very cool visually. Um, I mean, I've read like I have so many. I've gotten so behind on all my reading, not just on the Kickstarters, but just in like physical books and stuff. It's crazy how far behind I am. Yeah. And now I'm gonna have to change my email address for my Kickstarters
Yeah,
because I'm getting too many emails and I'm missing, like, I get lost in my emails and I miss important emails from people. So I think I'm going to go into my Kickstarters and all my
well, well,
crowdfunding, and I'm going to create a fucking email just for crowdfunding because I'm getting way too many emails now. It's crazy. I get like 20 a day,
yeah.
easily 20 a day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, because I support several issues for several books, so and like these creators for
Mm-hmm.
like each issue I have, I get the same notification from like
Mm-hmm.
each one.
Yeah. And then like I've gotten asked like 4 times, please answer your survey. This is your last chance, and I miss them sometimes. So I'm like, damn, I gotta. That's it. I just get it's. I don't know if I've missed some surveys and I haven't gotten books because I missed it in the emails because I get too many emails in my inbox. So
I
yeah,
think the only way that would hurt you is if they were through Baccarat or BackerOx or one of those. Because if they're
yeah,
actually just a regular Kickstarter survey, like you should just get those when you
yeah.
come in. They'll be like the
Without
little red thing that'll tell you, "Hey, you got to fill out the survey, otherwise you won't get your toys."
yeah. Well, 3/4 of them do it through Backer Kit, right? So
Not
yeah.
really anymore. I mean, I haven't
No.
gotten one through them in days. Like a lot of people I know just
Uh,
handle the shipping themselves.
yeah. I don't know. I've been getting at least half or a little more is still through them. So
I don't
you
like
know.
those fulfillment services. I understand they make it easier for the people, so I
Mhm.
don't dislike it, but I prefer not having to go through them because I don't like the extra emails and stuff like you said. And but
Yeah. Uh. All right. So I guess I'll kick in with this one. Night of the Comet. This is from Jonathan Thompson and Attila
Schwartz. Schwan.
Schwanz. Yeah, I love this. I got this. I backed the digital, and I loved it so much. I reached out to Jonathan to see if he had any physical copies left to have one mailed to me. And man, the art in this is fantastic. I love the style. I find he has Attila has like such a frenetic energy and style to his art that really makes me think of like similar to the energy and the freneticness of it kind of makes me think of a Ralph Steedman. Like it's let's see, well, like come on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And then he changes up his style for the flashbacks. It's a softer, more like almost like a pastel kind of drawings with pastels. Let's see. Can I get to a flashback? There's the flashbacks. Like it's like pencil drawings. It's a lot softer, less. It's got much softer tones. Not the hard, not as sketchy. The colors are a little more harmonious, like softer. So you have like he has two different styles. One for the present action, which is very frenetic and tons of energy, and man, it fits the story so well. And then he has a softer, more pencil, almost pastel kind of style for the flashbacks, where he talks about the love story and him losing his love to this person that kind of drives the story forward. It's like a revenge tale because he wants to get revenge for the death of his wife or lover or whatever. And yeah, Night of the Comet, man. I think this got picked up by Source Point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
Jonathan's
Source
had
Point.
some pretty good luck with them. Like they also put out his Tales of the Dead Astronaut. So
Yeah, he had that one. Didn't he do the tennis one as well? Was that him?
Game of Doubles. He's got Airplane Mechanics, and How I Met Him is with Burn Residue. This is a
And
really cool noir story that he did. But
and he has another one out right now. Because
yeah, it's drawn
speaking
by
of
the
getting
same.
stuff, in my, I just got an email this week, I think, for his new project that's coming out soon. So,
Yeah,
it just started. Yeah, it just launched. Yeah. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, you don't have to worry because you could go and I don't know if it's in this month's previews, but you can pre-order this through Source Point. Source Point will be releasing it, so you can pick that up now through the previews. So that's definitely one that's worth checking out, especially if
do you
you
know
like.
what? Do you know what
Like
size they're gonna put it out in? Is it gonna be digest size like the one we got, or is it gonna be regular book size?
I
Or
don't know. I have no idea. All I saw something about it getting picked up by Source Point, and that was pretty much it. I didn't really go and read it in detail. So, but I mean, like if you like Fear and Loathing, the graphic novel adaptation from Hunter S. Thompson's graphic novel adaptation, drawn by Ralph Steedman, then if you like that art style, then you'll probably really dig this because it's got a very similar vibe. Their styles aren't identical, but the same kind of energy. It gives off the same kind of energy. Very, very awesome. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. I guess I could talk about another one that we both love and we've had on the show before. Active Measures Volume 3. This just EPHK just sent these out a couple months ago, and I just got mine maybe a month ago, and I read it this week. And man, this volume is like twice the size of Volume 2. There's 100 pages in this one, and as it's written here, or a little over 100 pages. And if you can see how he describes the size, awesome size. And this book is just full of stuff like that. Like, let's see. Do you have anything from him you could put up to show? Like I could. I know this is one of. I think. Yeah, I think this is one of Richard's favorites.
Oh yeah.
The Red Sonia type thing
And
one.
then
That's one
he's
of Richard's favorites.
and then
Yeah,
he
there's
also is drawing a princess from Gotcha Man on the other side, which is really cool.
mm, like there's a lot of pinups. Uh, I think you've got about 4 or 5 different shorter stories that run through all the different volumes, and he's got tons of pinups. Let's see, like I mean, the dude's got talent for days. I mean, the book's full of that stuff. Like you know,
Oh, that's one of my
I mean,
favorites. The Monarch chick. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, each page you know you turn a page and that drawing's now your favorite. You know, it's just insane. Like the consistency and quality of his work is second to none.
Yeah,
Like,
Nick's incredible, man.
mm, yeah, second to none. So, Active Measures, Volume 3, that just got sent out just recently. So, I don't know if you go onto his site because his publishing company is called Clandestine Republic. So, if you look that up online, I don't know if you can go online and order these after the
Uh,
fact, which I wouldn't be surprised if you could.
I
Uh,
haven't been on his site in a while, but yeah, you used to be able to get the books that he had out at that time. You could get his sticker albums. You could get his
mhm.
postcard collections. I think
So
he had a
look
couple
up,
other
yeah, look up
Clandestine Republic.
Yeah, either look up EPHK, Google EPHK, or look up Clandestine Republic Limited, and you could probably find his site to buy these books. And he has one that was a not safe for work version as well. Uh,
Yeah,
that I got last year, and that one's really good too. There's a really fun Little Red Riding Hood story in that one. That's choose your path or adventure. It's fun. Mm.
you choose an adventure by
Yeah,
EPHK.
let's just say you choose them all because you want to see what happens.
Yeah.
The misadventures of Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah. See, this is volume. This was the second volume,
Oh, you're not kidding.
and this is the third volume. Like it's double. Like he went all out on this third volume. It's crazy. That's why it took so much more time for it to come out. Mm, yeah. So that's really cool. Was there anything you want? I have a few, maybe 1 or 2 more. I have 2 more to
Yeah,
talk about.
I'll go ahead and hop in with a few.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I got that really blew me away. I love my European stuff. Uh, this is called Fashnachtspiel. It's a Polish graphic novel series by a guy named Marek Terik. It's only available in PDF in English, but I had to back it that way anyways, and it's just glorious. It's really kind of this neat pop art style mixed with what could I could only compare it to German expressionist style visuals, but like pop art at the same time. A lot of negative space, but very surrealistically done. But it's basically about this city that was built to bring all the inhabitants of Earth to stave off the apocalypse. But the apocalypse is happening in this place now too, and you're basically along for that ride. And you meet all these kind of really ghastly, ghouly characters, and you learn what they do as part of the city as the city starts to unravel. And it's just very beautifully done. Like I really, really love Fast Nachspiel. I wish I could tell you the name of the publisher that puts it out, but I can't pronounce it. I am really bad with Slavic and Cyrillic languages and words. So this one was easier for me because I took German in high school, and this one's a more Germanic title for it, Nachspiel. But the actual publisher's name and lots of S's, lots of J's. Like I don't think I could spitball it, but
Mm, mm,
just look that up, and I think you should be able to find it. I'm pretty sure they still got the PDF available. They said at
mm.
some point, if they could get enough buzz for the PDF, they would release the hardcovers for it in English. But I haven't seen anything about that since the campaign ended, which is a bummer. Because like,
How long ago was that campaign?
I think I think it was in 2019.
Okay, so it's been at least almost 3 years now, then probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, I also really like this book, Foot Frisked Frankenstein by Tom
Yes.
Kelly.
Okay.
This one
Yeah.
was really neat because he hit, and it was such a small stretch goal. I think he got $200 more than what he was asking, and he hand painted us all dust covers for it. Mine's really cool. It's basically got him standing in this field of like swords, basically showing like he murked all these dudes. Really cool hand painted uh, paper cover that he made for the book. But it's this neat kind of Japanese folklore take on the Frankenstein monster, and basically he finds peace at this Buddhist monastery, and the evil warlord comes and ruins it. So basically, he's got to take his revenge, and it gets all Frank Miller with the way he gets his
Mm.
revenge against like the daimyo's generals, and really really visceral, really
Mhm.
fun, just
Yeah,
and
the art style is really cool too. I like it.
yeah, that one's a lot like how you were saying. It's black, white, and red is like
Yeah.
all the color scheme in it. Actually, there is some blue I think in there too, like hints of it. But a majority of the book is total negative space. Really kind of cool. Um, just beautiful artwork, really fun adventure story. On the short side, but not bad because it's a hardcover, and I think it was only like 25 bucks, which isn't that bad for a hardcover.
Mm. Yeah, 25 is reasonable. Yeah, because the
And then
novellas, that's like novellas about that price, right?
this little masterpiece right here by one Mr. Jim Rugg, his Octoberina one shot, which is just really glorious. This is the retro color PDF. I did not, they didn't do the glow paint in digital because he said that they can't do those colors in digital, which I don't see why not. But that's the best looking one that I thought out of the PDF covers. But this
Mm.
one's really cool. It's his fun take on an old '60s surrealistic war or political comic, basically kind of
Mm.
capping on the Cold War. Really, I've only read some of the old school Octoberina stuff, but I
Yeah.
think Jim did what Jim does, man. If you got to be a Jim Rugg fan. He knows the ins and outs of just fun indie comics. Like ever since I read Street Angel, I just really, really dug
Yeah.
everything Jim does.
Yeah, and that character too, you could do a lot with it. I mean, it's a fun character to I'm sure as a creator to work with.
Yeah, our boy Slapsticks played with her a little bit too. He's done a couple
Mhm.
like couple page shorts about her. So
Mhm. Mhm. So that's kind of like a public domain, right? Like a
I think so
character.
because I see a lot of different people just doing their own thing with it and
Yeah.
at different labels. They all seem to be indie. I haven't seen anybody big try to do an October Arena,
Yeah.
but I've seen like a lot of different people self-publish their stuff and not get in any trouble for it. So
Yeah.
I would think at least if it's not in the public domain, it's creators cool with other indie
Yeah.
guys, playing around with it as
I
long as they're
think even
respectful.
the origin or the creation of the creators like so ambiguous. No one even can really specifically say who created that character or anything. It's kind of weird. It's a very bizarre kind of character because I don't know, like I don't know, it's just weird. Like I read up on it a little bit and yeah, it's an interesting story. Like I don't know, like no one can really say like for fact like who created it or what happened or so yeah. Yeah, you see it pop
Oh,
up every now and then, like you said.
and then The
The
Gardener by
Gardener.
Matt Amons. Like this is just a really really fun sci-fi book. Really neat twist to it. I did not see the main character, pulling out the way that it did. I had a lot of fun with it. Really neat kind of, I would say it's got a nice biopunk style to it, like the way that it's kind of like about ends up being about biomachinery in a way, kind of cool twist to it. whereas you thought it would be a little more cyberpunky with the robots and stuff. But Matt's pretty tricky with his stuff. I think he's a very competent, really upcoming talent. I think that he is going to really catch on here in the near future because his stuff's just been really good, like the Dagger books and this Gardner, and he's like scratching at the surface anyway. So yeah, I would say definitely keep your name eye on the name Matt Amons. He's going places.
Yeah, and I believe he does a podcast with Leanna uh,
Yeah, with
Leanna
Kangas.
Kangas.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure how to pronounce it.
they
Yeah,
do a
they
podcast together. Inebriated Comics Inebriated, I think it's called.
yeah
I
they
don't know
get
if they're
drunk and
still. Yeah, I don't know if they're still doing it, but yeah, I listened to a few of those. It's pretty fun. Mm,
awesome. Yeah.
mm. Stupid cat.
Another one of my favorites, and I promised that I'd cover tonight, is of course Merrick, the Sensational Elephant Man by Tom Ward and Luke Parker. And this book is a Victorian era Hellboy esque superhero extravaganza. I guess you might say even more like an old school science hero type thing. It's based off of the actual historical character, or not character, but person, Joseph Merrick, the real Elephant Man. It's kind of a fictionalized version of him, though. Of course, they kind of really do their own thing with his origin story, but I think that they tackled it in a respectful enough manner. And I think that it's, as a Hellboy fan, I really enjoy books like this, and I think this one really stands on its own. I know a lot of people compare it to Hellboy, and there are similarities, but at the same time, this one, it's so touching. Like at the end of the first story arc, when meets a woman and she smiles at him for the first time, and oh, dude, like it hit me right in the gut, man. Like really good gut punch, really solid emotional content, which I love in a comic.
So, are the interiors the same style as the covers?
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah,
nice. I love those covers. They're really nice.
it's a gorgeous book, and it kind of deals with a lot of cool Arthur Conan Doyle stuff. There's of course secret societies, Masonic societies, and he also has to do battle with the Spring Hill Jack in a couple issues, which I thought was always fun. I always like seeing that character pop up. Another kind of odd historical reference, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I'd have to plead to most to creators that like it's nothing wrong with the like guest artists to do like variant covers and stuff like that, but please give us some interior pages when you do your campaigns, like because I've seen a lot of campaigns where you just have all these different covers and they don't show you any interior pages, and I don't back those books.
Yeah, me neither. I won't
I
unless
don't.
I know
I
what the
won't.
book looks like.
Looks like on the inside, yeah, man. Like I don't care if it's got a gorgeous cover because I'm only gonna look at the cover for so long, and I'm gonna like the meat and potatoes of it are on the inside. So you got to give us at least a couple page previews so we can see what it looks like on the inside. So yeah, that's why I was asking if the interiors were like the covers, because those covers are gorgeous. I love that style. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as detailed, but like it's the same style and it's the same artist. It's really gorgeous book. I can't recommend it enough. You can get the issues or the trades off of their website. Let's see. And so yeah, I mean it's not a hard book to get a hold of. You don't actually have to do the Kickstarter campaigns, but that's when I was kind of really getting into Kickstarters and really hitting my stride. Like I wanted to get these for a long time, and like they were crowdfunding for the second trade, so I was just like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna get both. And I think they were $15 a piece, even through Kickstarter, which is killer for a trade. Like I know, like one of my boys, he they ask pretty crazy prices for trade paperbacks sometimes, so on Kickstarter. So finding one that's actually like store prices, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, the prices I've noticed some of the Kickstarters have been starting to climb in prices. Like, I'm not even talking about like physical, just for the digital. Like, I saw a 25 page PDF. It was $25 US, or what was it with the no Canadian with the exchange? It ended up being $25 for like a single floppy, but not even a physical one. Just the PDF was like $25. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, eesh. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta wonder. Like, I know some books, it's like you hire artists and all these other people to work on it, but man, that's getting steep. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. If it starts to get pricey like that, I'm gonna just put more budget towards vinyl. Just buy more records.
Here's another one that I wanted to check out for a while, but like when I finally saw the
Mhm.
Kickstarter for the trade, I shit a brick and jumped and got it, and I love Everything is Super. I think everybody loves Everything is Super though. It's just one of those books that really just hooks everybody, and um, just is a lot of fun. I mean, the characters are so great. When he's sitting next to that Christian lady on the bus, dude, like ah, geez, lady, can you sit somewhere else?
Yeah. Ah, there's so many great moments in it. Ah, it's
Uh,
such. It's
when
like the only way I can
when they meet
describe
the
it.
kid's dad in the sewer, like,
Yeah, it's such an ugly book in the best kind of way, right?
well, the
Like,
art's so gorgeous, but it's hideous at the same time. You
yeah,
don't even know how
exactly.
Rotstake does it. Like, it's
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
looking at it and you're like, that's some clean, nice art, but it's hideous, bro. How do you do
yeah.
that?
It's off-putting. A lot of pages in it are just off-putting. Like the tone, it's fantastic. It's it was good. I really enjoyed it, and I think he's working on the second volume right now. He was posting quite a bit of stuff on Instagram. So if you go follow him on Instagram, you can go watch a lot of the progress for the second volume. So go follow him on Instagram. You could get little sneak peeks here and there of panels and pages here and there for the second volume. So there is a second volume coming out, and from the looks of it, I'd say he's probably going to be ready to put it out sometime in 2023. I'd imagine.
Yeah. I remember like when he first started putting stuff up, I was like told him I was so excited for it, and he told me like, well, it's gonna take a while, and I'm like, of course, dude, but like, yeah, I'm not, but I can't wait to see what he does next because this book was just, oh man, I don't even the giant squirrel, like all the just the I don't even want to say random stuff, but like I don't know another term for it. Like it
I don't know.
just
Sometimes it gave off like Beavis and Butthead vibes, and I don't know. It's just
little bit of Napoleon Dynamite, a
a
little bit
little bit of
of
Napoleon. Like, yeah, like,
Turbo Kid,
yeah,
like
exactly. It pulls from all these like little. Yeah, it's a fun book. It's definitely, yeah, even raunchy at times. Yeah.
yeah, like that weird story about the fast guy and the girl that just stayed at her house because she was scared to answer the phone and like grew like different versions of herself constantly out of her like
Yeah.
it's like you're like, ah, dude,
Yeah.
where you even come up with this stuff? But I'm
Yeah.
glad he does. Like
Yeah.
Rod Stake is definitely lives up to his name. Like he's
Name. Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Mm, mm. Here, speaking of early, you mentioned like when you first started getting to it. So I'll show one right now. This was the second book I ever backed. Was the Cosmic Detective by Jeff Lemire, Matt Kent, and David Rubin. And this took about, just to give you an idea, this one took 2 years to come out from start to finish. David Rubin, amazing. Like the pages in this, let's see, can I find just fantastic stuff. I mean, David Rubin, if you're not familiar with him, like,
he he did the Ether with Matt Kent, which is a great
yeah.
book. He did a bunch of BPRD stuff.
Mhm. Like just style wise, I mean, if you're into
Like James
let
Stocco,
James
like
Stocco or Bertram, he's
Ian
got like
Bertram,
yeah, he's got that kind of similar style. Like, I mean,
Daniel Warren Johnson esque maybe too, like in that
yeah,
same caliber.
yeah, really uh, gorgeous book. The colors are great. The only complaint I'd have art wise is sometimes the colors, like in the darker settings, can get a little muddy. But then you get pages like this, which are just fantastic.
What's
Look at
neat
that.
about that one, even though it took a long time, is that it's still a Kickstarter exclusive. They haven't released it on another platform yet
Not yet.
under a label, even though they could. You know that Image or Dark Horse or Oni or anybody would love to put that out, and they
And
haven't done it yet. Which I think is rad. I mean, like most big name creators wouldn't play it like that. A lot of them
and
would.
one of the pros I like about this is their stretch goals weren't just stickers and stuff. It was upgrades to the book. Like you got the what do you call that? The bookmark,
The ribbon?
the ribbon. Then you got the gold on the edges. That was like an upgrade from stretch goals. Like it's all gold on the edges.
It's like a Harry Potter book. It's all shiny.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I appreciate that. Like people ask me, "Oh, what do you like for stretch goals?" Upgrade the book. Like if it's a soft cover and you meet a certain goal, fucking turn it into a hardcover, man. Like instead of giving me stickers and patches and metal coins and stuff like that, just
Oh,
you
I
start
love the
making.
trinkets, man. Like I love the
I
trinkets too.
I don't I don't hate them, but if you gave me the choice between like stretch goals where you get little gifts like stickers and crap like that, or upgrades to the book, I mean, this I'm gonna keep forever. You know, it's gonna go on my shelf. I'll probably open it, look at it, like flip through it, but like a sticker, like I appreciate stickers and bookmarks, but those are all things that probably after a year or two I'll lose or throw out or but an upgrade to the book, that's forever. Like that's what I appreciate on a Kickstarter, and that's what they did, and it turned out to be a beautiful book. The story's pretty good. It's about it's like a futuristic world where um how do I put that? Where there's a detective and there's like this race of aliens that are kind of like gods. So basically, uh,
So they're
we
basically
we
doing
worship aliens and like gods
like
are
elder
actually
god
aliens.
stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah,
like
uh,
like the ancient aliens type stuff, the astronaut theory
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. That's kind of what the take on this. And this is the guy they hire to go out and uh,
Bust some ass.
yeah, bust some ass, find a missing girl, and then there's an alien that gets killed. So they send him on the case, and that starts the whole adventure because they're supposedly immortal, right? You can't kill them. And then one of them ends up dead. So then they hire this guy to go and uh, investigate
Ow.
it, like this secret society, and they have him go investigate it, and it's pretty cool. Like the art is fantastic, the story, it's got kind of like a cyberpunk feel to it. So yeah, man, it's cool. I don't know if you'll I don't know if you can get this, like if they had extra copies that they can sell on their own sites. I have no idea. I think Ruben had posted some in bookstores.
I think that they have a bunch. Probably your best luck at getting one though is going to a con that they're at and buying one from their table. I would say it was probably where a lot of them are going to be sold at.
Because I know Ruben posted some stuff. David Rubin posted some stuff that there were some in bookstores in South America, but in North America, I'm not sure. Matt and Jeff are pretty busy with their big projects with the Big Two and other stuff, their own like image and their own self-published stuff. So I haven't seen them post too much stuff on where to get those, but I mean, just look up Jeff Lemire or Matt Kind, and I'm sure you could probably Google it and find out where you can buy some of those copies of those. Yeah, yeah. You want me to do another one, or do you got something else?
I got one. One of the
Yeah.
people that got me into doing Kickstarters is Jordan Thomas, who of course did
Mhm,
Frank at Home on the Farm. Who's
mhm.
I'm a huge fan of. He's like the first guy that sent me review copies for free to review his book, and I always appreciated that. So I've always kept my eye on his work. And then he put out his masterpiece or his swan song so far, Weird Work. with art by Shaky Kane,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
oh man, does this book just do everything right? Like, I can see this running in Fantagraphics. It's like that kind of just
Mhm.
really well done.
Yeah.
That aesthetic of indie comic where it's very irreverent and but sarcastic and nihilistic at the same time. Uh, really fun playing with the noir story stereotypes, but just taking comic books to their furthest silver age ness that he can, because like there's a lot of like what you would think of old timey comics tropes in it with like uh, what are they called, human animal hybrid characters
Mhm.
all over the place, and like everybody's like a weird color, but like they're all the same people from the same planet, which is always fun to read about. And it's, I don't know, I hate to compare everything like that's weird like that to Mad Men, but it really hits on some of the same levels as that, even though this is a lot cruder and a lot more violent. Like I'd say that like this is like if Robert Kirkman, when he was younger and did more like violent stuff, like if he would have ever done Madman, which you kind of get with weird work. But and then of course Shaky Kane's gorgeous art. I mean,
Yeah.
any of those old 2000 AD guys, I love anything they do, and Shaky's no exception. And the
Mhm.
fact that he teamed up with one of my favorite up and comings with Jordan there is just really rad.
Mhm.
So yeah, and you could get those off of Jordan's label Burn Barn. You could get most of his stuff, except for I think you got to get Frank from Scout now because they own it. But
Which one?
he's Frank at Home on the Farm.
There's a comic shop in Britain, I think, has signed copies of the hardcover edition
Okay,
of Frank on the Farm. Six. I always forget the name of that comic shop, but it's a cool comic shop. They have, they're the ones who had Emily Was Gone, and then Emily Was Gone. They had hardcover signed of special editions of those as well. So I can't remember the name of the shop, but anyway, if I think of it before the end of the show, I'll bring it back up.
nice. But yeah, Jordan, he's a really nice guy too. Always down to talk. Really calm. Never grumpy with you. Like I always appreciate that from creators. I don't mind sarcasm and them being short too. That can be funny, but sometimes it catches you a little off.
Yeah. All right. Here's one I was so happy when I saw the Kickstarter. Not a Kickstarter. This was on
Crowdfunder.
fundraiser. Fundraiser, I think it was, or crowd. Anyway, like razor as in a razor blade was Matthew Allison's Canker. I tried to get this back, but I think it sold out pretty quick. The first prints.
The
Uh,
old ad house one, it's only half of
yeah,
it anyways. I have the old ad house trade. You were
yeah,
better off waiting for this one.
yeah.
It's a
Really.
better collection because the other one, it's even smaller than a digest size. It's like one of the smallest trade paperbacks I own. It's itty
Oh yeah.
bitty, man. Yeah.
Ah shit. I wish I would have bookmarked. Oh, this page. Look at this. Like, look at stuff like that. It's insane. That's so cool. So good. And he's kind of, you know, we're talking about rot steak, and I mean he's got these gruesome stuff like as well, like just the like off-putting.
Yeah, the weird
Yeah,
celestial
like
body
body. Yeah,
horror
it's
has going on.
it's fantastic, and such a talented illustrator. Like, so cool, so talented. Like this guy. I mean, fuck, gorgeous. This book is fucking gorgeous, man. And it's got the matte. He's got the flat finish with the spot gloss for the main character. Then it's got the embossed lettering glossed for the cover. Like, beautiful presentation. How many pages do you think this is? It's close to 300, I think. Okay,
I'd say over 300. I'd say
a little
it's
over.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, and just like look at the pinups in the back too. I mean, just visually, this book is worth getting. Just visually.
I even like the weird black and white I guess real world art that's in it too.
Yeah,
But even though the characters are all deformed, like some don't have noses or eyes and stuff,
yeah,
like the way he
yeah.
draws the
Well,
people
look,
that he interacts
yeah,
with.
uh, yeah. Like then he just throws in a little spot of color where he's talking with a version of himself. I guess it's kind of semi autobiographical. Those like the black and white parts are like kind of like him telling the story about himself, kind of, and asking for advice from guys at Comic Cons.
And then you see his
And
internal struggle as like this big cosmic war superhero fight that
yeah,
just, oh man, it goes all over the place though with with
yeah,
that stuff. Like,
yeah. See, like there's the classic. What? That's a. This is a not a 9 but a 12 grid. Like he touches on all kinds of stuff. You got a 12 grid page panel here. Uh, you know,
yeah, he blends like the old traditional indie style with like straight up a splash page, big
mhm.
two, not quite the art style, but like the panel layouts and like the crazy grids and stuff that you'd see in, more of like a big
And
action
it's
comic.
like it's super meta, right? It's he breaks down like fourth walls and stuff, like where they make reference to news articles about his comics, references of himself at Comic Cons, and then he bleeds into the story that he's creating. Uh, like here's some more of the white, black and white, where it's like you don't know what's real. Like the lines of reality and fiction are blurred so much in this. They bleed into one another in the story, and it's hard to describe the story really. It's such like kind of an existential. Uh, I don't know. It's weird. If you're into weird indie comics that are beautifully drawn, then this will be right up your alley, man. Beautiful book. And actually, I just saw on Instagram, he has a like Black Friday deal going on where you can get the hardcover and a bunch of other goodies, a print, some signed stuff for like $50 or $60. So if you go on Instagram, go follow him on Instagram. That's Matthew Allison, and he's got some Black Friday deals up on his site right now where you can get this book and a bunch of other goodies. So go check it out. Yeah, I
I
remember
think
seeing it earlier today. Yeah.
I think it's at Kankor too if you're gonna look for him that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go check that out. That's definitely worth checking out. Mm. Got
Yeah.
anything else, buddy?
No, that's about it. Like, well,
That's about it.
I thought maybe you'd
That's
want to throw your buddy a
well, he doesn't do Kickstarters. I think he just
oh,
self-publishes those himself. But yeah, man, Lost Night. That's Kevin Anthony Catalan. He's got a one shot that I think he's just finishing up. It might be up on his site. So he's kind of doing a one shot to bridge between volume 1 and volume 2. So he's created like a one shot comic that's gonna fill in like for people that are anxious for new stuff to come out. So you can go check that out. You can find him on Instagram as well. I think he has a link tree maybe in his profile. So go check that out and go get his comic. He's a super talented guy too. Like all these people that we mentioned, man, we'd love to have them all on our show. Like Matthew Allison, probably going to give Kevin a shout out, see if he's interested in coming on. Like, I mean, these are guys we'd love to talk to. Rot Steak. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talented people out there, and they don't get enough exposure. So if we could do anything to help them out and get their books moving, even a few copies here or there, I'm sure. I mean, they appreciate all the business they can get.
pow pow. I
Yeah.
agree. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
that was our
there's a couple other small things too. There's which I was mentioning to Johnny before we went live was there's a Kickstarter that started now. If you're a fan of Faust, well, Tim Vigil and who was the writer of Faust?
David Quinn.
David Quinn. I think their Kickstarter just went up today for a complete edition. is on Kickstarter, so you can go fund that if you're into Faust, the hyper-violent 90s comic.
Yeah, like the book that broke brains in the 90s, man. Like it scared a lot of people. It was one of the first books I knew that like was sold in little brown bags and stuff because well, some of the covers that Tim drew were really graphic as well, but on the other hand, like there's yeah, I'm not going to describe some of the stuff that happens in the book.
Yeah.
Like
But anyway, there's a Kickstarter up for that right now. And there's another Kickstarter that went up. I think it's still running for Patrick Kidlin's. Uh, uh, what was the title
there's
again,
nothing
Jordan?
there.
There's nothing there. Yeah, it's a one-shot anthology that's going to be. It ties in like short stories of events that happen within that world of the story of the original series. So if you love that book, I think Maria Lovett is involved too. She does some of the stories, but there's a lot of different artists involved. So that's a Kickstarter that's running right now too. So if you're into that, you can go back that one as well. Those are two that I saw that seemed pretty interesting to me. So yeah, man. If you're looking for something to kickstart, those are two possible books. If you're into indie, hyper violent stuff, go back the Faust book. If you're into more not safe for work, risque stuff, then go back the Patrick Kidlin. There's nothing there because that was a great book, and you'll probably enjoy it. If you read that, then they got a one shot coming out. So yeah, those are things that you could go check out.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our look at Kickstarters that are crowdfunded books that we love, mostly Kickstarters, because I mean, I don't know, it's where I hang my hat. I can't help it,
Yeah,
but
I backed a few, 3 or 4 different Zoop books now. So yeah,
are they good, or have you gotten your stuff from them yet, or any?
the Mats did the first site on Zoop, and I got those books like pretty quick. The most recent one I backed was Faceless Man, the Faceless Man with Matt Lanewski. He did.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, he does the one I showed you last week. He does his that one just finished up. Lesniewski. He did The Freak. One of my favorite books that I read last year. This is fantastic. You could follow him on Instagram as well. Matt Draws, I think it's called Matt Draws something. Anyway, and he's got a shop where you can get these. He when you order them, he does little remarks on the inside, signs them and does remarks. So, and he just finished his Kickstarter, and he's worked with Matt Kent on Crimson Flower for Dark Horse. He has Static that he did. It's his own graphic novel he did for Dark Horse. He worked on an issue of Mind Management Bootleg. He did issue 2 or 3. He did the interiors of that. So yeah,
Hell
so that's
yeah.
pretty cool. That was on Zoop, and I'm looking forward. That one, I'm really looking forward to getting that. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. And next week will be our monthly music episode. We'll
That'll
be doing
be
it
on
on
Thursday,
Thursday. Yeah, on
the
Thursday night,
first.
the 1st of December. So we'll be doing our month in review of all the different music we've listened to, bought, maybe gone to see any live shows if anyone's seen live shows. Not sure if we'll pick a specific topic. We're still gonna maybe work out the details there, but we're gonna do our show and tell. That's gonna be a reoccurring segment for our music show, or where we show off vinyls that we've bought or anything that we've bought. So we have a little show and tell section to the show, and we'll go off on tangents like we always do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Fulci there, so it'll be grumpy. So
yeah,
it'll be a good time.
Mr.
You
Grumpy
don't
Pants.
you don't hear a lot of "God damn it" from from our pal Fulci.
Yeah. So come join us next Thursday, 9 o'clock, and we'll be doing our Pink Distortion monthly roundup music episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, until then, you stay classy, y'all.
Yep. Have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.